Okay, I'm hoping this is working. So let's just begin this. This is a presentation about Anatsui. He is a designer, sculptor, and artist from Africa, living in Ghana and Kenya and other parts of Africa. And one of the big things that stands out to me is that for him, he says art is about fun. It's about playing, it's about imagining, it's about creating and enjoying what you do. He loves the fact that, much like life, art is ever changing. It's never stuck in one place. It's not passive, it's moving, it's flowing like cloth and canvas, like rivers and oceans. It has curves and valleys, it grows and changes. And he likes to put that in his art, and it's beautiful. It's amazing. You look at, for example, this piece here on the right, and that's made up of metal, discarded refuse, stuff he's found around, and he's woven that together into this beautiful fabric. And you can see that here. It's beautiful, amazing, and I love it because it has this own sense of weight to it, with this lightness, this softness, and every curve is changed and molded, and it looks almost like a blanket you could wrap yourself in. And he continues that with his other works of art, like this piece here. As I said before, it's essentially metal cloth. He's recycling the pieces he finds in his community, discarded metals, bottle caps. Many of these artists discarded bottle caps you'd find on those glass bottles, the metal ones. You find it there. He's taken them and he's put it here. Once again, changing something, taking it from this useless bit of junk that people just see and would toss away, and he's taking it and putting it in and molding it as part of this new and unique fabric. And his art doesn't have a specific way in which to display it. So, in every community that receives this work of art, it becomes a part of it. He takes what he's learned from the various places he's lived, the college he teaches at, and he takes all of these different perspectives and he molds it into his art using the color and the texture to tell a new story and create something new. And that's unique texture of metal that looks like fabric is something that he uniquely does. And for the art reflects his home. He had humble beginnings. He even chooses to living in a humble manner. He's from the Adinkra people, and he uses many other symbols from different tribes around him, and using their symbols, their language, and molding it into his art. Using one of the reasons he does tend to focus on bottle caps and discarded metals and such is because those are trade resources from Africa. Lots of alcohol was sold in the slave trade, and many people did come to Africa trading for alcohol. Metal has unique symbolism being both for weapons of war and for chains. And he recontextualizes this. He takes it and at face value, he's just woven them together using copper wire and different materials into a fabric. But if you look at the colors and the way this red seems to appear as blood streaming down the canvas, it tells its own unique story. Once again, taking this art and changing it. This simple material that would oftentimes just be discarded and wasted, never looked at again, put in a dump, is put onto a fresh canvas, a new fabric that he has recontextualized in this unique way. When looking at it from a distance, you see the vibrancy of the colors and the folds and the way it tends to flow one bit after another as a cascading waterfall, a wave of color and motion. And this is amazing because he's using the unique aspects of these different tribes and cultures in here, who he's met and talked to, places he's been, and he's incorporating into this design. And so each time he creates a new piece of art, it is changed from the last, giving us something new, something unique, a type of rebirth. Like I do feel like I'm kind of beating this over the head here. Once again, we have more. discarded materials seen from a distance here with various holes, different ways being woven and connected, different colors and vibrancy. But each bit is a message woven throughout. As he's taken one bit of junk from one place, one from another, and he's put them together, created something new. And one of the things that also that adds to this sense of the ever-changing aspect of art, which I want to highlight again, is that when he sends his work of art out to a new gallery, a new place for it to be displayed, he gives no guidelines. There's no instruction on how to present it, how to display it. It is entirely up to the individuals who are putting it up to decide how they want it to be displayed. So that allows their own emotions and feelings, their own perspective to be incorporated in this art as well, garnering a wider community that's brought together by this piece and ensures that no one group of people ever see it the same. Every time it's displayed, it's born anew and gains unique meaning, unique opportunities, and a new message. So while the core and what he originally designed it is still there, it's now become something new, possibly something greater. And once again, it is ever changing and takes something that was discarded and gives it new life. That's what I want to talk about is like the story, the shape. He sometimes takes bits of bottle caps like we see here and he depresses them. So each one has that same depression to varying degrees. So when you are looking at far away, it appears as one singular thing, but when you get closer, you see something new. Sometimes he'll shape them like crescents, like a half moon or a croissant, adding new meaning, new culture to it. And a lot of these times he chooses the colors and the shapes to form symbolism based on different parts of history and different cultures, highlighting a different aspect of where he's from. As he tends to focus on stories and art unique to African culture and history. He talks about colonization, slave trade, different resources that are there within the countries he lives in. And it's something new, something fresh, and something beautiful to see that from afar it appears as something simple. Something you could almost wrap yourself in a blanket when you get close. You see this unique little details that bring a new shape to the art and ask you to want to investigate more, dig deeper, look around and see what else is hidden within there. And that allows you to gain this curiosity that will cause you to ask why this, why that, to learn more about history and culture and where it comes from. This is kind of seen as well as like this triumphant scale is what it's called. It's what he at least seems to refer to as many of the different art critics refer to it as. These works of art are not small, they are massive, gargantuan, some covering buildings, entire walls, huge rooms of display, and they are hung there, dwarfing the people like you see here. So nothing is wasted. He takes everything he can, recycling and trying to save the earth. And that alone is a message that he brings here in a way that you don't, that's made for artists you don't see. Like, yes, they use recycled materials, but he shows the scale of what's wasted and brings it back in a way that's new and fresh. Something you can really talk about, something you can really visualize, a way to highlight the difference of what we're doing or the degree to what we're doing and really bring this cause to the world. He seeks true freedom in his art and expression, never being pegged down. He's almost semi-nomadic in a way, the way he's moved and lived many different places and tends to travel. And his art as well, traveling to different places, being displayed, creating this of art that like there is no boundaries, no place you can't go, nothing you can't do. He is amazing, and this art shows that this idea that like you can take one thing and take it anywhere. That freedom is not a simply a Euro-Western kind of idea, but it's something everyone strives for. Seeks to find it in art, really bringing it forth in a new and unique way. And I really like looking at it. It is special how each individual piece comes together to create this beautiful tapestry of color and vibrancy that asks you, begs you to look closer, to find more, and to figure out what story is being told. And that's what you see the people here in this image are doing. They are seeking, trying to find and looking for something more. And beautiful part about this is not just something that he does alone. He brings the culture together because his workshop is placed within a nice small town. It's very unique. He avoids social media, the internet, things like that, living a rather simple life. And when he begins to work on a project, he brings in the people in the surrounding neighborhoods, the members of his community, members of different cultures, member of his culture, brings them together and gives them an opportunity to work, create something new. And he'll do work himself, sure, but he'll work give instruction, allow the people here to put their hand to the craft, to create something new and special. And so when you see these works of art, it's not just him who did it, it's a people who did it. It's a group of people, many individuals. You can see their hands on the art, and it allows them their own form of expression that will travel the world and spread culture, ideas, and this message of rebirth, recycling, and making something new and giving it an ever-changing idea. These people, they change daily, and they put their hand to this work of art, and it changes daily. And so they've created almost an extension themselves. And each day, as different things happen, things change, they apply something different to their work, or they improve in skill, or maybe something's on their mind as they don't do quite a good job, but he doesn't care because it creates this uniqueness to his art. His art reflects the soul of the individuals that made it, reflects the ideas of this culture and what they're passionate about, what they care about. And as this displayed in each and every part of the world in a different and unique way, it allows a different part to be displayed and put up front so that people can see a new person and a new idea and a new soul every single day. So, and it all like he takes junk, things you would discard, and turns them into a treasure. He creates on a triumphant and massive scale that dwarfs you, the average person. But there's detail, there's soul within each and every one of these pieces. There's a way it's made, displaying current issues and bringing people together and putting up on the world stage this work of art that tells a story that looks like a blanket that could wrap you in and hold you close. But it's something sharp, hard, causes you to look and really analyze what it is and what it's saying. And that's why I think Anatsui is a amazing artist, and that's why I chose him. Thank you.